Hi, welcome to the Wine Business Management Certificate Series at Sonoma State University. My name's Tim Hanni. I will be your instructor for this course. This is the first time we've done a lecture or any kind of online program, so please bear with us as we get the kinks out. Thanks for your perseverance in getting set up and logged into the system. And we'll go over some of the basics today and take you through expectations and outcomes first. This is going to be very important that you understand the value that you're going to get out of the course is in direct proportion to the time and effort you put into your projects, researching the issues, and so forth. So at the end of this course, you will be creating a business plan that you will submit. We'll go through that later. You don't have to worry about it right now. But in what we call the Wine Biz Sim, which is the planning workbook, you'll be creating a business plan and submitting it to me in a PDF form. It's done automatically from the spreadsheet server system, and that will be your deliverable. At the end of the course, it's my intention that you understand all of the issues and options in the wine business from the various areas of production, of wine quality, distribution in your market, in a national market, and in a global context, and then the related costs associated, the costs of doing business in wine. And also at the end of the course, you're going to be able to very quickly and relatively easily generate a preliminary business plan for a range of wine products. So that's the expectations and outcomes that we'll have. Let me tell you a little bit about the video lectures. We'll start with an introduction here. My name's Tim Hanni. I'm Master of Wine, and as I said earlier, I'll be your faculty for this course. Each of these video lectures will run roughly 10 to 15 minutes. Don't hold me to that. There will be 16 lectures, and then these will be supplemented by optional webinars. The webinars are no cost for you. It's done at gotomeeting.com. I'll be sending out notices. You'll get the notice, and then you just sign in, and you don't need to buy anything or whatever. There's been some confusion about that. Don't worry about it. Okay? When you get into a webinar, you will be on mute. So I've got controls that I can run. I can see who is and who isn't in the webinar. And then you'll be able to raise your hand. There's a function that says raise my hand. So when we get to the Q&A area of things, you'll be able to, I can unmute you or whoever the person proposing the question is, and they can talk. So we'll have some direct back and forth with that, okay? And then these calls will last roughly an hour. And we're going to start with 2 a week. We'll see how that goes. I've tried to space them and put them at different times, but I do want to make sure everybody can participate if they choose to. If we need to add some, we'll do it. Okay? The primary function of the webinars is going to be mostly Q&A and going over the projects and issues that come up. And we'll be having a message board at the Moodle SSU site where you'll have your calendar, where there'll be announcements, where you can go in and look at the syllabus and those kind of things. And we'll have a message board because that's going to be another key way that everybody can interact. You'll be able to pose questions and comment. Really love it if things are coming up that are an area of your expertise. If you're in viticulture and people are asking certain things about, grape prices and quality and things like that, really love your support supporting others. If you're in sales and marketing, if you're in finance, it'll be a great way for everybody to engage so that we really act as a community. So we'll have that as an additional resource that's available. And the timing and frequency of the video lectures, there should be roughly 4 or 5 a week, and then there will be the final time that you'll have to work on your course. And the other thing is we've got the lecture. This is actually 5 weeks because we didn't count Thanksgiving week. There will be a Monday lecture on the Monday before Thanksgiving, but not the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Okay? About the course, we're going to be using a business planning tool called the Wine Biz Sim Workbook. This is something I've worked on for 10 years, seriously, but it's also an educational process I've been incorporating for about 20 years. And this is going to be your primary resource. I have put something at the SSU site to lead you to critical thinking. If you're not familiar with critical thinking, it's the ability to look at issues or questions or topics from different points of view, to then think from that point of view, what is the position? Why do people think that way? What's the evidence that supports how they think? And then by doing that from 2 or more points of view, you can now look at all the available evidence and then make good decisions. So we're going to be using critical thinking in terms of sourcing fruit. If you are a diehard wine geek and you're passionate about terroir, you're going to have a certain idea about where fruit should come from and how it should be. And it's completely valid, whatever your point of view is. Conversely, if you're a grape grower in an area that doesn't have such a high value, you're going to have a whole different idea about sourcing fruit. If you're a winemaker that's making a very tiny handmade product versus a larger commercial winery. So we're going to take these points of view and the options, the decisions, and the financial impact in sourcing the fruit, in producing the wine, how to sell and market the wine, distribute it, and then all the way to the point of sale and the decisions that a retailer and a restaurateur, how do they mark it up, why, what are the things that you don't know that you need to know so that in each of these areas you have new expertise. And one way to think about this, and when I do this as live projects, we actually form teams, and each team is supposed to designate at least the following: somebody who is growing the grapes or buying the grapes. The second person is looking at all the decisions for production and winemaking, any of the logistics and costs all associated with creating the wine itself. And then you've got the sales and marketing team and how they're positioning things, how they can communicate the product out to the market, and then finally finance. You've got the CFO sitting there saying, well, that's a really great idea, but we can't afford it in our business plan. Okay? So that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to have this really cool online thing. It's the first time it's ever been used. It'll have a few bugs, but I think we're pretty clean on it. We put a lot of hard work into it. And you'll go through and make these decisions. All right. Now, the Wine Biz Sim is going to be essential, so this first lecture is going to be dedicated to showing you how that works. I'm going to take you pretty quickly through this, but I think you'll find that it's easy to plug in numbers. It's easy to go back and change things. I want to make sure you know how to log in, how to turn on the editing, how to save, and then how to reopen your project. If you should lose the project, it's really not a big deal because you are going to learn to have this incredible facility now with each of the categories, each of the tabs of the workbook, and just plug in numbers at will. Now, you will want to learn how to save it because it will be imperative, especially when we get into the later projects, okay? Another way to get the most from this course, have a low-leaf binder or set up a file folder on your computer. And as you're researching, as you're looking at resources, as you're finding crop reports or sources for grapes, when you get something that you want to study, either print out a copy, put it in the appropriate tab on your binder, or put it in the file folder in a place that you can refer to it and read more about it. Focus on the areas of your least expertise. If you're a grape grower and you go into the grape growing section of the workbook, you're going to find it's pretty basic. It's not really all that dumbed down necessarily, but it's just primary decisions. So go in and play with it and move on then to the next areas, okay? and reach out to people in your area, people that you know. Just pick up the telephone, call a winery, see if you can get an introduction to a grape grower, find somebody in sales and marketing, go into a tasting room as a resource. Because what you want to do is you want to collect these points of view for your critical thinking process and see what are the different perspectives. How do people handle it? Do some people even know what the implications of their decisions are? It's pretty amazing what you'll find out, okay? And then attend the webinars whenever possible. You might, I recommend one a week, either the Monday or the Wednesday. And again, we'll set up more if they're necessary. And it's not compulsory. Now, they're also going to be too long that I won't be recording them, so they'll just sort of be a live Q&A kind of a thing, very informal, and we'll see what comes up. And you know, as far as that's concerned, also participate on the message boards. Okay? All righty then. So that's going to take care of our business there. And the next thing that we're going to do is to go into the Wine Biz Sim. So I'm going to turn myself off for now, and I'm going to bring up, you'll want to go into spreadsheetserver.com, server 1, and you'll come to a sign-in page. If ever you forget your password, just simply go here. It'll return it to your email address. Okay? So you just simply put in your username is your email. This is actually my user account that I created, so you get to see how you'll have to guess on the password. Alrighty then. So, and this is where it'll take you. Now, it uses a little bit funny language, but what you're going to do is go down, select your form, click that. This will come up. This will appear over time, but all you want to do is click on New. Okay? And there you go. We are in the workbook. When I refer to the tabs, here they are. Very quickly, I'm going to show you how you are going to save your work. Okay? When I click the Save button, it's now going to bring up something and ask me if I want to bookmark it. When I hit Bookmark, it'll then give me a name. You can rename it. You can do different versions. You can create it. When we get to other projects, I will post them with different names, or we'll simply save these in a different way. But all I do is add this then to my bookmark, my favorite. Now, I already have one named this with this name, but I'm just going to say yes, and we're going to overwrite it. And basically, now when I go up to my favorites up here, as you can see, then I can go down and I can find this project. When I open it up, now all I have to do is open it up from here, log in, and it'll take me to my saved information on that project. Okay? And again, if you lose it, don't worry about it so much at this point in time. We'll get to it. Now, when you're ready to work on a project that you've saved and opened, it'll have this here. You want to click on Edit, okay? And that then is going to enable me to go in and edit my prices.